Hello and welcome back to another episode of Evolve by Erica, the podcast. I'm Erica Polsinelli, your host, and I'm so excited to bring you episode 12 today of the Evolve by Erica podcast, which is all about elevating 5D consciousness, health and wellness, and all things spiritual. Come on in. Today, the podcast is going to be sponsored by the Evolve Exclusive. So I want to take a moment to tell you about the Evolve Exclusive, how it started, and why you should most likely be a member. So the Evolve Exclusive was a divine download I received during Kundalini training. So just so you know, I went to Kundalini training to find my Dharma, to find my truth, and I did not think it was teaching Kundalini at all. I felt Kundalini was like really uber spiritual, out there, woo-woo, and just that, I don't know. I just didn't see myself teaching it in the traditional way that it's been taught for so many years. And while I was there, about the second day, I got a very clear download of how I was going to start living my Dharma while working a full-time job of teaching. So I began to write down all my ideas. I wanted to share these Kundalini practices that literally healed me and changed my life. I get emotional saying it every time. I just knew the world needed access to this, and not a lot of people had access to this, and I had to help others to be able to have it. So I got the download to start recording meditations, sharing them with anyone who is willing to start practicing this powerful, transformative, life-changing practice. And that is not a hyperbole. If you know, you know. Am I right? So then I started to think, okay, so Kundalini is life-changing, but eating healthy and eating a lot of plants is life-changing too. So I want to share recipes. I want to share how I eat healthy and make it enjoyable and make it exciting and make it freaking sexy. I want to share that too. And then I started to think, well, it's not just about that too. It's also about like the products you use and what you consume on a daily basis, what you clean with, what you use on your body, what goes into your body. So I have to share that too. And then movement's such a big part. So I need to help people to move and inspire them to move because that elevates your energy too. And then I was just like writing down furiously like a mad scientist because the universe was just like as if this little spark, this little match was lit inside of me. The universe was fanning the shit out of that match. Like, go girl, go girl, go girl. Yes, you're here. You need to do this. People need this. So I realized that I'd be able to do this while working my full-time job of teaching. And I spent almost every weekend working and working on Evolve. During the week, I tutored after school, and then the weekends were really for building Evolve. And it was always a work of my truth. It felt generous. It felt authentic. It felt like my soul's work. And it was never about just bringing in money. It still isn't to this day. It's just about sharing authentically what I know to be true and what has helped me so much to heal, and being able to offer that to anyone that's willing, anyone that has that empowered feeling to take control over their health, their happiness, their life, their reality, because I know we have so much more power than we've been led to believe. So I started to record videos, started to write up recipes that I loved, started to share essential oils that I love to use and different products I love to use. And my first month, I had a great number, like I had no expectations. I was just doing God's work, or so it felt, divine work. And every single month since then, this community has grown exponentially, and I'm so freaking grateful for it. I'm so grateful that I get to do what I love every day. I'm so grateful that hopefully I can help you positively shift your life into this higher frequency. And my main goal and mission is just to help you understand that you deserve to live a life that you love, live a life that you are proud of. And I believe so deeply in these practices, giving us access to that, giving us access to healing, giving us access to really being a powerful co-creator. So I'm so happy to have Evolve Exclusive sponsor the podcast. If you are a member already, you know all the goodies that it offers. But for those of you who are not yet a member, there are different sections of the website. There is a Breath Express section where I highly recommend starting. They're all under 10 minutes. Perfect way to start your day. There's a meditation section for when you want to go a little bit deeper and a little bit longer to about 20 minutes. There's a Kriya section, which includes warm-ups, movements, meditative and healing movements for different purposes. And it's warming up your body. It's working your body, making your body nice and tired, working out any excess energy so that you can go into a deep meditation. So if you feel like you can't just jump right into a meditation, you might need about 30 or 40 minutes to warm yourself up and get into it. So the Kriya section may be for you. There's a section Kundalini Kids to bring mindfulness and meditation to the children of the world because they are our future and they are so spiritual already, just out of the womb. They're sponges. This is what their soul knows, and they're so open to it. I have a spot for essential oils and recipes, and also a section of Embody Flow. And the Embody Flow is a sequence of movements and exercises that really elevate me and give my body all that I need. Excitement, activating my energy, building up energy, strengthening, stretching, calming, all of those things. So I hope that you enjoy it. If you are new and you haven't signed up for the Evolve Exclusive, I'm offering a free month to you if you're listening to this podcast. So the code is Evolve22. Evolve 22, you can get a free month and have access to a really powerful platform. So I hope that you enjoy it. And if this episode actually goes out after a really big announcement, you will be able to access a free trial without a code. So you'll hear more about that soon. So just a heads up, but I'm so excited to have Evolve Exclusive just support and sponsor this podcast today. And now for the episode. Today in this episode, I want to talk about how meditation not only changes the relationship you have with yourself, but it changes the relationship you have with everyone else. I know that sounds so wild, so profound, but there's a reason why I'm dedicating my life to this practice and bringing it to other people. And it's because it is truly that powerful. So here we go. Kundalini is a super powerful practice, as we all know. And by practicing every morning, specifically before sunrise, we're really getting into our subconscious mind. We are able to reverse and clear bad habits that we've had, habits that keep us small, habits that keep us in toxic situations or relationships, and be able to rewire the brain and actually positively charge these neurons to make new neural pathways to a more positive thought, action, etc. So why we wake up in the morning is a really important conversation that I've been having a lot lately. I feel such a huge difference when I sleep past sunrise versus when I wake up before sunrise. When you wake up before sunrise, you are literally getting ahead of everybody else on the planet, except, the other Kundalini yogis. You're all in this together. But it really is said the most successful people in the world are waking up around like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I have to work on the 4 a.m. That's so early. But you're waking up before sunrise. You're waking up before everyone else. There are no distractions. No one's calling you. No one's texting you. No one's emailing you. No one's pinging you or slacking you, whatever these new terms are. Okay. You are just there with yourself and the universe. And during this time of the day, it's usually referred to as Amrit Vela or the Ambrosial Hours. This time of the day, there's a completely different frequency on the earth. The earth is quiet. We have infrared lighting rather than UV lighting. It helps us to stay in this really dreamlike state, and it helps us to dip deeper and quicker into our subconscious. And meditations during that time is 40 times more powerful. Wow, pretty incredible. So during this time of the day, when you're waking up and you're tuning in with Om Namo Gurudev Namo, that means I bow to the divine wisdom within. You are saying to the universe, I'm here. I know I'm divine. I know I have so much power within me. I'm literally taking the key and unlocking it. And you unlock that infinite abundance and power within. So as we tune in with that mantra, we're actually vibrating the two glands in our minds, the pituitary and the pineal gland. And by waking up at that time, by tuning in with that mantra, we're slowly transitioning from that state of melatonin, that sleepy state, to serotonin and to even healthy levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. And we all need cortisol, but an excess obviously is detrimental when we're super stressed. So by taking this time, by tuning in the morning, we're diving into the most important relationship we have, and that's the one with ourself. And I really truly feel that this practice has brought me years and years, I want to say lifetimes of therapy. The clarity, the perspective shifts that I've gained through this practice is immeasurable. It's just tremendous. And I've always shared that by going into this practice, you don't even need to know what you need to work through. Maybe you do. Maybe it's in your conscious mind. I need to stop thinking this way. I want to think this way. And that's how I approach this. I need to get out of my head with health anxiety. I want to know I'm healthy. I want to put my energy towards manifesting rather than thinking about all the things I don't want to attract. Okay. So I thought I was there just to heal this health anxiety and I'd be Gucci blessed after that. I started to see the universe, my higher self, my intuition started to reveal other things that I was healing, baggage that I've been holding on for this whole life, baggage that I've been holding on from my family, my parents' relationships, things I was bringing with me into my life that I didn't want to bring. Right? I didn't consciously want to bring it, but that's what the body does. The body does what's familiar. The body continues to keep the habits that it's had in the past. And what this practice does is it stops it in its tracks, and it helps to rewire the neurons in our mind and positively charge them so we can shift out of those, I don't want to say bad practices or bad habits, but those habits that have kept us small. So as we do this, we start to recognize so much within ourselves. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how I reacted to her. That was all the ego. That was all of my insecurities. And that was all fear. And I just took it out on her. Wow, Erica, do better next time. You start to become so aware, because this is the yoga of awareness, as I always share with you. You start to look at yourself, your life objectively, like you're someone else. You could see yourself and the choices you're making, why you're reacting that way. And it happens all the time. So in any conversation, you start to really recognize, am I speaking from a place of love here? Or am I speaking from a place of ego? Which one is it? Am I speaking from a wound? Or am I using my wound to bring forth wisdom and understanding and transmute that into a higher frequency? So when we start healing ourselves on this soul level, everyone around us heals. Everyone around us heals. So we start to go into experiences, conversations with other people from a completely different space, not a defensive space, not a reactive space, a space of love, a space of, ooh, that person just triggered me with that comment. Instead of being like, let me react and trigger her right back, it's like, no. Why did that trigger me? What am I uncovering about myself in how that comment just made me feel? I have more work to do. Anytime there's a trigger, that shows us, ooh, exciting. I have another little journey to go through. I have something that needs to be healed and cleared. That's what a trigger is. So as we start to heal ourselves, our conversations with everyone around us change. And when the words we speak and the energy we exchange with others shifts into a higher frequency, our relationship goes to a different place. You can imagine that. Your friendship is more filled with love, understanding, compassion, rather than judgment, rather than insecurities, rather than speaking from a place of fear or lack. You go to a different space. And this happens with every single relationship in your life, whether it's with a partner, whether it's with a friend. Your relationships completely start to transform and evolve because guess why? Because you're evolving, because you're growing. And then you take that and you share that with someone else. And through those conversations, you're able to help enlighten them, help them elevate, help them. And it's not like you're teaching them or it's not like you're on a pedestal. Just through your reactions, responses, you're able to take the energy of the conversation to a different place, and people feel that. And that uncovers a lot for them as well. It's like being, we've all heard being the bigger person. This is being the evolved person. And it shifts everything. So whether it's your romantic relationships, your friendships, even your relationships with your children, everything begins to change. And through this practice, you're less reactive. You have more patience. You have more compassion and understanding. So you could imagine how that can transform a mother-child relationship, right? Or a father-child, or whatever relationship it is, a sibling-to-sibling relationship. And it's very, very powerful. So I always say, by tuning into this, healing yourself, you're healing every single other person around you that you're in contact with, even a stranger in a store. When you see a stranger and maybe they're taking too long online, you can quickly get huffy and puffy and reactive, or you could take your deep breath and say, I'm sending them love and light. I'm blessing them. Something that I love to do, a little exercise I love to do, is look when I'm driving. When you have two things I like to do, actually, the other one just came to mind. When you see someone in the car next to you and you guys look at each other and quickly look away because it's awkward. Yeah, no more of that. So I love giving someone a really big smile or even a wave, because we are connected. We're from the same source. Why do we feel so disconnected? Why do we all feel like strangers? We're all one. So I'll give them a big smile or a little wave. I won't say it's every day, but I try my best. But the other thing I really like to do is, being an empath, I can see someone and I can quickly take on their energy. I could feel their sorrow. I could feel their heaviness. And if you're an empath, you might know exactly what I'm talking about. And I would very often hold that with me, feel very sad, drained, pulled down by that, because I felt whatever it was they were feeling or projecting out. And I've learned how to transmute that, and I want to teach it to you. And whether you're an empath and you feel that heaviness from people or not, you could still do this activity. So I love to look at a stranger, especially if I feel like they're holding heavy energy, but it could be anyone. And I love sending them a blessing, just a mental blessing. So it might be someone I'm driving next to, it might be someone I see on the street, might be someone I see at the beach, anywhere. So I love just picturing them receiving so much light around their physical body and receiving this feeling of warmth and love. And I want to believe that they're open and they could feel that shift, because the universe is so interesting. How if you've thought of someone, they call you or text you and they're like, I was just thinking about you too. Oh my goodness. I know that we could communicate psychically and telepathically. I've done it many a times. I do it all the time. And I just think it's such a powerful tool, and it's a way to really connect us to the people around us and see that we're all from one source and one energy. So through this practice, you're unbecoming. You're unbecoming all that you've been taught to be, all that has been projected onto you to be, and you're becoming your original you, the person you are meant to be on this earth. And when you become that person, you're able to show up that much more for everyone else in your life. So I hope you enjoy this episode about how this practice impacts your relationship with yourself, your relationship with others. And I think the last thought I want to leave you with is just that you find this space of just being accepting yourself for where you are, accepting others in your life for where they are, and knowing that everyone has their own journey, but the best we could do is be the best version of ourselves. And by doing that, we can show up that much more for everyone else. And we could really spread our light in that way. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm sending you love and this light energy all around your aura. And I will see you next week. May the longtime sun shine upon you. Sat Nam.